It's okay to fail if you're reaching for the impossible. I was born no prodigy. I had to dig deep down to find what I had. I had determination. I had persistence. I had desire. And a little soul. You got to have a little soul. So I let it sing. I let my heart sing. I let it sing. I got no regret.
He's a musician and a poet whose work has many emotional messages. His name is Kodac Harrison, and according to his official bio, he grew up slowly in rural Jackson, Georgia, in a traditional Southern religious household.
I needed an outlet for my emotions, and I went to see Otis Redding the summer before he died in Macon. And I was about, the audience was about 90% African American, and I felt fortunate to be in that 10%.
Sitting in the morning sun.
And it changed my life. I found, I don't know if I consciously recognized it, but I think down inside I knew this is what I wanted to do. And it took me a while to figure out how to do that.
If you ask Kodac Harrison what kind of music he plays, he'll tell you he doesn't limit himself to one particular style.
I've often had club owners tell me, well, you're not this and you're not that. You're kind of in between, which I particularly like, because that means I'm doing something different. I'm using different elements and not just following some formula.
The club owner said, you're not blues, and you're not rock, and you're not jazz, and you're not hip-hop, and you're not folk, and you're not country, and you're not spoken word, and you're not song, you're in between. I said, I like it that way. He said, well, then there's nothing I can do for you, because you're tied to the microphone.
His musical roots are in Southern soul and blues, and there are strong poetic elements throughout his writing.
I just try to grow as an artist and continue to be open to new ways of presenting my art.
I'm a choosy man.
Harrison says his eclectic musical style has earned him a diverse group of fans, but he admits it may also have cost him some commercial success.
I've never tried to restrict myself. I'm doing it because I love it, and I want to do it with as little compromise as possible.
And I started too late, and I'm too ugly, and I'm too old, and I'm too this, and I'm too that, and I'm too skinny, and I'm too fat, and I'm too this, and I'm too that, and I'm tied to the microphone, I'm tied to the microphone.
In the 1980s, Kodac Harrison wanted to be a rock star, but a near-fatal accident caused him to rethink his entire career plan.
I felt like I was compromising, I was putting pressure on myself, I was getting into a somewhat self-destructive lifestyle because I was not happy with what I was doing. So I reassessed my art and went back to what I consider is true to what I do. And maybe in the process, I have taken myself out of the commercial light.
Harrison now has his own record company where he produces and promotes his own work.
I want to find my own way. I want to draw my own map. I want to find my own way. So I'm sneaking down the alleys, and I'm crawling through the cracks, and I'm running down the canyons trying to find my own way. And I fully expect to be ambushed at any moment because I don't trust either side. And tied to this stake, I know I'm the perfect prey for any predator who comes along. Because I'm tied to the microphone, I'm tied to the microphone.
Recently, Kodac Harrison co-edited a third anthology of poetry, traveled to Europe for the 7th time, released a new CD, and mounted a new show at Atlanta's Seven Stages Theater. So how does Kodac Harrison define success?
It's continually to grow as an artist and feel like there's some validation in what I'm doing, that I'm doing something that's true to myself. I'm not compromising.
Harrison says his biggest challenge is surviving the feast and famine lifestyle of being a working artist.
I've learned how to change my lifestyle almost weekly or monthly depending on what's going on. The biggest trouble I have is fixed expenses, and the older you get, the more those you have. I can't live in somebody's basement anymore. I have to live comfortably. I like to eat comfortably.
His advice for aspiring artists?
Take feedback. Feedback's wonderful. You don't have to agree with it, but be open to other opinions and what people say. You can't be what everybody else wants you to be. You've got to put your art out there, and you've got to work hard at it and give it a chance.
Every Sunday evening for the past 7 years, Kodac Harrison hosts performers of all styles at Java Monkey Speaks, open mic readings at Decatur, Georgia's popular coffee house and wine bar.
At our reading, if you get here early enough, you're in the first 18 regardless of who you are.
Harrison, who often opens the readings, tries to create an atmosphere that's respectful and welcoming to everyone who signs up to perform.
I tell them, you know, if you only want to hear yourself, stay at home. You can go in the bathroom, you can see yourself real good, you can hear yourself real good. You don't have to come all the way out here. Come out here because you want to listen to other people and you want to get feedback for yourself, for your own writing.
As for the future, in 2009, Kodac Harrison will celebrate the 20th anniversary of surviving his near-fatal accident. He's also thinking about going back to Europe, is very involved in Poetry Atlanta, and is planning to write another book.
It'll be a selection of my poetry and lyrics from throughout my career, tentatively titled The Turtle and the Moon. I relate to being a turtle. You know, the tortoise, continual struggle, but wins the race. I love that old story.
When I've written a song, it's allowed the listener to be invited in. I'm not bombarding them with my issues.
Baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked these floors. I used to live alone before I knew you.
It's something that has allowed the listener to identify. Musically, I think I'm accessible, maybe more accessible than some artists.
Broken hallelujah.